Good morning, day 205, cooking down the freezer, refrigerator, and working pantry challenge. So today is another beautiful day. It's going to be about 80 degrees, the sun is shining, and yesterday we finally got some rain, so I'm happy about that. I want to go look at my garden and see what the rain did to my veggies. And every time it rains, they grow like crazy. So that's a good thing. I'll have plenty to eat. So today I'm thinking about, I want to work on a little section of my garden, and I have a couple of little greenhouses that I want to set up there. But in order to do that, first I have to put down some sort of barrier on the ground so I don't get a lot of weeds. And quite a while ago, it's been probably about 5 years, I bought some tiles that I was going to put on my deck. They're the kind that snap together, but I never put them on there because it ended up I didn't have enough. I had gotten them at Aldi's and they never got them in again. So they've kind of been sitting out in a little container out in my garden for years now, and since I'm trying to use what I have, it would be perfect for putting under the little greenhouse. So I'm really trying to make an effort to use what I have and carry out with the plans that I had when I bought it. For some reason, I liked buying things. I liked getting them, and it was like Christmas. And then it was like they sat there. I just didn't have the energy to actually use what I had. Not everything, but a lot of things. So now as I'm decluttering and looking around my house and trying to get it all straightened out, and my goal is to have the house pretty much decluttered and straightened out by around Christmas. But I'm giving myself a whole year before I start the process again and going from room to room. This is what I do. I keep going round and round, and every year I use more things, I declutter more things, and it's working out fine. It's making things easier for me in the long run. So that's my plan, and I want to start working on that little area of the greenhouse because I'd like to start some fall garden seedlings because I bought those city picker boxes that I'd like to start using. They're on a stand, and I think it's going to work out really well. So we'll see. I'll take you along with me when I do get those set up, but it's going to be a little bit yet. So, all right, I don't know what I'm having for breakfast yet today. Plenty of choices. I picked up some fresh produce. I have bread. I have all kinds of food that I have available to cook down. And the nice thing is I only spent $31, something like that, for the whole month's groceries, because most of that was fresh produce. Everything else I'm cooking down from my freezer, refrigerator, and pantry. All right, well, I'll be back in a little bit, and we'll see what's for breakfast. Day 205. Tiny Tim is finally getting some tomatoes. I'm so excited. He doesn't get much sun here, so the little things in life make me happy. So I'm out here in my garden, and I just wanted to take a look right after the rain, the lovely rain we had, and it smells so nice out here. All I smell is mint, and it especially after it rains, it's so fragrant. So I'm rooting some mint here, in this little froggy fountain, and I also put some coleus that was growing too big. I want to see if I can root that. And then over here yesterday I made a couple changes. I put my caladiums up here. They used to live down there, so I put my mint down there, and I'm rooting some coleus here in this little fountain too. See how that goes. So I switched it up. I changed these. They were over there, so the caladium can get a little more light, and they're doing beautifully. They're really nice. And then I have another one over here, and my elephant ear is doing great too. So, and then this little mojito, I think I need to repot that, because last year, this is from last year, and last year it had huge leaves. So I want to keep this plant because I really like it. But I've got baby mojitos coming up there. And in this one over here, I'm not sure exactly which elephant ear this is, but lots of little babies going on there too. And this was a house plant that was starting to die, so I just stuck it here in the pond, or in the fountain. It's my pond. So, with my fish. But anyway, I switched all that around. So let's take a look and see how big my garden got after the rain. I'm always surprised how big it gets. So I put all those little tomato plants that were just kind of hanging around here. I stuck them all on here. They're not going to get tomatoes, but I didn't want to throw them out, so I just stuck them in there. And I fed my impatiens, so they're starting to really take off and bloom. My city pickers that I haven't done anything with because I still need to get some fresh garden soil. And just look at this garden, it just went crazy. One rain will do that. Especially after a dry period, it just takes off. And look at the beautiful, I'm going to try and zoom in. The beautiful flowers on my mystery plant. So we'll see what comes out of that. And then my zucchini over here has a lot of flowers, but I don't see any females. And from what I hear, the male plants come first and then the females come, but you know, it's already mid-July, so I don't know. We'll see what happens. But anyway, I'm very happy that my garden has taken off this year. And every year I learn more and the garden gets better. So hopefully this year I'll get a nice yield, and next year I'm going to be doing a lot of gardening in these city pickers, the raised ones. Now these are all city pickers. I already had 6 of them, but they don't have the stands, so I just put them all on these little tables that I got at Mark's for $6. So I don't know what I'm going to do with my grow bags. I may put a couple of them in the front where I know I get sun, but we'll see. All right, I'm going back inside because everything is wet, so I can't sit out here. But I'm so happy it rained. All right, see you in a little bit. Time for some coffee. Best cup of the day. Sometimes I do have a cup of either hot or iced coffee in the afternoon, but this is the cup I enjoy the most. So I wanted to have a little chat with you today, and I wanted to talk a little bit about not giving up. And so I'm going to use my garden as an example. Hang on. the mowers are here. All right. They're very loud. I'm very happy I don't have to mow my own lawn, but if I have my door open, their mowers are really loud. So I wanted to talk a little bit about not giving up. And I'm going to use my garden as one example. So when I was younger, I've always grown like flowers and things like that because I really enjoy them. I would just go to the nursery and pick up, you know, my flowers and plant them in pots or in the ground. And that was the extent of it. When I moved here, I had a beautiful secret garden in the back. Now I have a very small postage size lot that comes with my townhouse, and my house is an attached cluster because it's attached at the garages. It's not a freestanding house, but I do own some of the land around my house, and it's, like I said, it's very small. So when I got the dogs, my secret garden kind of went to the wayside because they just trampled everything. Everything was gone. So then I bought the city picker boxes, and because we're not really supposed to have a vegetable garden in the ground. So I thought, well, I'm going to get around that and I'll just put everything in these boxes. So that worked out okay for a while. I planted basic things, tomatoes and peppers and, you know, those sorts of things, and I got a small yield. Nothing that I could feed a family of even 3 on, but it was enough for me. And just very basic vegetables. So when I first moved here, I planted a lot of trees, probably about 15 trees. And some of them were maples and pine trees and, you know, just those sorts of trees. Oh, excuse me. And these trees have gotten huge now. So my little vegetable garden that I had growing in the spot I had it just did worse and worse every year because it just wasn't getting enough sun. So I finally decided I was going to get rid of all the city pickers and go to grow bags, which now I'm very glad I didn't do. But I decided to move them all this year because I had a tree where half of it came down, and so it gave me a sunny area in my yard. So I moved all the city pickers to that area, and now things are flourishing and growing, and I'm very happy about that. But my whole point of this little talk is not to give up. Don't give up. If you have something that you've always wanted to do, for me it's gardening. Now I'll never be a master gardener. You know, I won't. But I want to be a good gardener. I don't want to be a bad gardener. I want to be a good gardener. So every year I try different things. If this plan doesn't work, I try this plan. If that doesn't work, I try another one. So if there's something that you really, really want to do, whether it's gardening or painting or photography or cooking, you know, whatever it is you want to learn, don't give up. You know, when you first start cooking, and let's say you're making pancakes, and you know, you follow this recipe and you burn the pancakes, or the pancakes are like hockey pucks. They're just awful. Well, don't throw it in the garbage and say, I'm never cooking another pancake. You know, try a different recipe, try turning your stove down, And sooner or later, you're going to make a great pancake. And it's like that with everything. That's like with my garden. Sooner or later, I'm going to get the formula right, and I'm going to have a really nice garden that provides me with enough food to feed myself. So, but you need to learn and you need to build on those skills. Let's say you always wanted to paint. We'll use that as an example. Or draw. You know, in the first few times you paint a picture, you draw a picture, and it's like, people look at it and go, oh, that's nice. And you know it's not. But, you know, you can analyze where you went wrong and say, next time I'm not going to do that, I'm going to try this. And so the next time you do it and you try this, it's better, but it's still not epic, you know. So you go through the process again. You keep redoing and retrying, and life is trial and error. You know, most of us aren't going to be born a savant. You know, we're just not going to be. And that's okay. Part of the learning process can be fun. You know, you can read books. You can join groups. If you're not a joiner of groups, you can go on the internet. You know, I haven't tried it myself, but I'd like to try ShareSkill. And I'm not advertising them because, like I said, I've never tried them before. But from what I hear, there's so many things. They have classes. Now, it's not a free service, but if you can't afford that, then you can Google on YouTube how to do this, how to do that, if you want to learn to paint, you know. And there's so many different techniques. There's not one right or wrong way to learn things. You know, there's wet on wet painting. There's those painters that have several paintings started and they let them dry in between layers, you know. They just put layer on layer of beautiful colors. And is your painting going to look like that the first few times? Probably not. It's probably going to look like, you know, your little first grader did it. But that's okay. You know, you just the next time you say, well, that didn't work out and I'm going to try something different. And, you know, if you're a painter that layers all these colors or, you know, and then maybe you try a wet on wet technique like Bob Ross. I mean, he painted a painting in, you know, 30 minutes. Try that technique. You know, maybe you'll like that better. So just keep trying and keep learning and surround yourself with people that are smarter than you. Not people that are dumber than you or people that say, oh, you can't do that. That's never going to work. You don't have talent for that. Not everybody that is successful has talent, but what they do have is skill. And you can learn almost any skill. You may not get it right the first time, or the second or the third, but eventually, if you keep at it, you will. I mean, look at this James Webb telescope now. I mean, look how many millennia of humans have tried to understand the universe and to look back in time to see what happened, and you know, before they actually became successful at it. And even with the telescopes, you know, one built on another, on another, on another, and they didn't quit, you know. Now the big thing is maybe space travel, sending people off to different worlds, and you know, and they're not going to stop trying to make a warp engine that actually can get you there. So don't give up. You know, if you want to be if you want to take beautiful pictures and learn photography, you don't have to buy an expensive camera. You know, cell phones now, most of them are smartphones, and the cameras keep getting better and better. You don't have to buy $1,000 iPhone or some of these other phones that are so expensive, even basic phones. This phone that I video on is not an Epic phone. You know, it's an LG 4. It was kind of free with my phone subscription. But, you know, I've learned to use it. So you don't have to buy the most expensive of everything, you know, to get started on something. So just keep trying. That's like with my phone editor. You know, I was making videos, my old videos I did on my computer. I was getting extremely frustrated because I couldn't, it took me forever to upload a video. So I had to look around and see, you know, how can I make this better? Because I really enjoyed making videos and I didn't want to stop, but I was getting so frustrated. It took me forever to upload a video. And I got a better internet and it still took forever. My computer is not a racehorse. It's about maybe 7 years old. And it's got a lot of stuff on it, and it's like the old gray mare, you know, but it's fine. So then I started doing my videos on my cell phone, and I got KineMaster, and it's like, oh, this is wonderful, you know. Now I know my videos aren't the best quality, you know, but it works. For what I need to do, it works. So I didn't give up. I kept trying. I kept saying, no, I want to try this. That didn't work. Okay, I'm going to try that. That didn't work. And there'll probably come a time where maybe I'll want to step it up a little bit, which is fine. But anyway, not giving up. If there's something that you really, really want to do and you don't have a natural talent, just learn the skills and build on it. Ask questions of people that have been successful. Watch videos. Read books. You know, and if you've got people in the background going, oh, that's not very good, you know, just keep learning until you're satisfied with it. Because that might not be their taste, and who cares? You know, you're probably doing better than what they could do. So don't let the naysayers stop you. And then there's the people that say, you know, I've always liked to try new and different things. Some things I love doing this. I love to cook. I love making videos. I love to paint. I love to make jewelry. And then there's those people that say, you never finish anything. You've got all these things going on and you never finish anything. Well, that's not true. It's absolutely not true. Sometimes I try things, I learn some of the skills, and I build on it, and then I decide, you know, this really wasn't what I thought it was going to be, so I stop. That's not finishing it. That's like I stopped. I didn't want to do it anymore. So don't let those naggy people rain on your parade. Try different things. That's what makes life exciting. It's what makes life happy. It's what keeps you happy. It doesn't matter what Joe Schmo back there thinks. Just tune him out. He's probably the guy that doesn't do anything but watch TV 24/7 and eat frozen dinners, you know, which is fine if that's your thing. You know, I'm not downgrading anybody, but those are the people that don't try things, so they don't understand why or where you're coming from, if you understand what I mean. So don't feel guilty about trying things, learning about things, and getting, you know, things that you need in order to do that thing, and then just not being interested in it anymore because it really wasn't what you thought it was going to be. So there's a big difference between stopping because you don't like something and quitting because you think you're not good enough. You're good enough. Whatever it is you want to do, you are good enough. All right, well, I just wanted to talk a little bit about that, and hopefully that will encourage some of you to try doing things that you thought maybe you couldn't do. You know, it's all a learning process. Life is a learning process. So go for it. You do you, and learn things and make your life exciting. All right, I'm going to have the rest of my coffee, and then I'm going to look in my fridge like I've done for 205 days now and see what's for breakfast on day 205. Okay, cheers. I'll be back in a little bit. Time for brunch, day 205. Let's see what we can have. Oh, look at those lovely strawberries. Might have some of those. I'm going to have some of this cheddar cream cheese. And some spinach. And let's see, since I have produce, I'm going to have some of these peppers. And I think these are the cucumbers. Either that or the zucchini. Well, anyway, I'm going to have a veggie sandwich. That sounds really good. And I think also I'm going to have some of this avocado mash on it. All right. And I'll see, maybe I'll have a few strawberries too, because they need to be eaten. They were in my veggie box, and they're really sweet. All right, I will meet you at the stove. All right, well, I'm going to make a sandwich. I hope that dehydrator isn't too loud. I'm dehydrating some mint. All right, so this is the Violife cream cheese, cheddar flavor. And I really like this cream cheese, but it's too expensive. But I already bought it, so I wasn't about to take it back and say, oh, this is too expensive. I thought it was on sale, and I guess it wasn't. But I'm going to definitely enjoy it and eat it up. So I have just some rye bread here, and I'm going to put some of this cheddar on here, and this is really nice and creamy. It really is tasty, and I like the cheddar flavor. So then on the other half, I'm going to put the avocado mash. And I still have quite a few of these. And the next time I go to Costco, I think I will buy more. Even though they were on the expensive side, they're really tasty, and they almost last longer than the avocados if you buy avocados. And avocados have gotten so expensive. It's a shame because I really like them. But at $1 a piece, I think that's a bit over the top. So if I'm going to spend that much, I might as well get it easy peasy, right? Alright, so I have some cucumber here. That's from my veggie box. And this is starting to have to be eaten. So I have a little bit left. So I'll probably make that into a little bit of a salad. So, okay, cucumbers and cream cheese is always good. And then I have a pepper that I got from my mom when we traded veggies. So I'm going to have that. And then some spinach, and I need to cook this up too. Sometimes my mom buys things on markdown. And this spinach sort of is kind of getting to the point where it needs to be eaten. So I'm just going to cook the rest of it up. And then I can always freeze it or eat it or whatever it is I'm going to do. But I definitely need to cook it up. So this is spinach. I'm going to layer some of that on. And see, that's starting to not be so fresh anymore. So sometimes when you get these markdown veggies, you have to be mindful of the fact, of course, that you're going to have to cook them. So don't buy a ton of veggies on a week where you're not going to be having time to do that. And then I've got my chickweed that I picked the other day. So I'm going to put that on top too. And it's almost like the closest thing I can say about the chickweed, it's like sprouts. You know, if you sprout things, that's sort of the flavor it has. Alright, so that's going to be my brunch today. And then I'm going to have a few strawberries. And again, because this was on markdown, they need to be eaten. But some of them are still really nice. Well, most of them are, you know, nice. But they do need to be eaten within a day or two. So, okay. Cut this in half. And I like veggie sandwiches. Do you guys like veggie sandwiches? When I go to Subway, I always order their veggie sandwich. Okay, there is my sandwich. So, using up the produce, that's what I'm going to do until it's all gone. Alright, there is brunch day 205. So let me give it a taste. Looks good. That's good. Tastes very fresh. Alright. I'm going to eat this and I'll be back. Okay, let's see what's for dinner. Day 205. Okay, I have an idea of what I would like to make. I have all these lovely strawberries. And I have also down here I have this chard that I cut up the other day. So I'm going to have that. I'm going to have some of these Follow Your Heart feta crumbles. And let's see. Some of these pepitas, they're almost gone. I'm going to have to get some more of those. And yeah, I still have pizza, but I'm not having that. 2 days in a row is enough. I may freeze the rest. I'm going to have some of this Gerard's raspberry vinaigrette. And I have my pickled eggs. All right. I think that should make a nice dinner. Okay, I will meet you at the stove. Okay, I have a baked potato that I got in my veggie box that I want to make. And I have a little onion here that I'm going to chop up half of it. My onions need to be eaten up. They're still good, but they need to start to be eaten up. I washed my hair. What is this thing here? Okay. There we go. It's back. All right. I also have these bacon bits. I got these at Big Lots for $3.49, and it's a big container. I haven't seen them since. Otherwise, I'd get another one. All right. I'm going to put my food together. I'll be back. Okay, so these are the greens that I got out of my garden yesterday. It's chard and bok choy and broccoli leaves. What else? Probably a couple cabbage leaves in there. And I'm going to just chop these up pretty fine. And I'm just going to turn this into a chopped salad. So I don't want any big chunks. I just want it to be relatively fine because it makes it a little easier to eat. All right. It's like when you massage kale, you know, it gets a little softer. So cutting this up kind of does the same thing. All right. So I'm going to add some finely chopped onion to this too. So I want to chop that up fine because this is a regular onion. It's not a sweet onion. Normally I like sweet onions, but these were cheaper when I bought them, probably a month ago. And I used up all my sweet onions, so now I'm going to use these. I prefer just a regular onion. I prefer that just for cooking. But if I have sweet onions, I prefer those for cooking too. But I don't have any, and I'm not going to buy any now. I'm going to finish these up first. Okay. But when I use regular onions, I don't really want to bite into a big chunk of onion. So I'm going to add that. And I don't even know if I'm going to add it all. Probably not. I'll add half of it. Okay, that should be enough onion. okay, a little more. And I'm having a very simple dinner, just using up the produce that I have. Now I'm going to cut up some strawberries. And I want to be able to taste the strawberries, so I don't want them too fine, but I don't want huge chunks of those either. So, quarter them. That's good. All right, I'm looking forward to eating this. And my dogs had some strawberries too. I had strawberries planted in my garden, but I never got any because the chipmunks ate them all, and now they've kind of disappeared. So I figured I'm not going to plant more strawberries for the chipmunks, but I might one of these days. I have the the grow boxes, the stackables from Dollar Tree. So I might next year maybe grow some in there. Alright, so that's looking good. I'm going to add some pepitas for more crunch. And then I'm going to add some Follow Your Heart feta crumbles, because feta is always good with this kind of a salad. Alright, there's that. And I'm going to have some of these cheese and garlic croutons. Okay. Oh, I almost forgot the bacon bits. So I'll add some of those. And there we go, a refreshing summer salad. And I'm not going to chop the egg up. I'm just going to put it on around the corner. So there we go. A refreshing summer salad. Doesn't that look good? I think it looks delicious. So the dressing I'm going to use is the raspberry. And this is good too. I like these Gerard's dressings. But I won't get any more until I go to Mark's, which is probably next month sometime. So in the meantime, I'm just going to use this. My favorite is the champagne dressing, but I'm out of that because I bought the Wishbone 3 cheese, which is also good. So I'm going to finish that up first. Alright, so there's my salad. And I also made that baked potato. And this is just going to be very simple. I made this in the microwave for about 5 minutes. And I got this in my $5 produce box. I have more potatoes, but they're on the small side. So I think I'll cook those up maybe tomorrow. Maybe I'll make some potato salad, or who knows. Alright, so I'm going to add some butter. So I really enjoy this meal, baked potato and a salad. When I used to go out to restaurants and there wasn't much of a vegan or vegetarian choice, this is what I would order: a salad, a side salad, and a baked potato. And I was always happy with that. But now there's tons of choices when you go out to restaurants. So that's not an issue anymore, but I still still order this sometimes. Some salt, some pepper, and I like ranch dressing instead of sour cream. I like sour cream too, but if I can, I prefer ranch on my baked potato. So there goes the ranch. Yummy. And I'm going to put some bacon bits on here too. Okay. All right. Here we have it. Dinner day 205. All right. Let's give this a taste. I already know it's going to be good. Yummy. And my salad. A little bit of that. Very refreshing dinner. All right. I'm going to go eat this and enjoy it. And in the meantime, that's all I have for you today. So I want to wish you abundant blessings. I love you guys. Be good to yourself. Be good to others. God bless you, and I'll see you next time. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe, comment, and like. Thanks for watching.